statement made by the Philadelphia 76ers and Tyrese Maxey remaining undefeated after taking down the Orlando Magic 136-124 in an impressive win at home without Joel Embiid, without Dominick Barlow. Plenty to talk about as we come to you live from the Xfinity studio. That's Rich Hoffman. I'm Devon Givens, Bree producing, the president of basketball operations. All of you winners in the chat. Kyle Neubeck joins us later from the arena. Tons to talk about, starting with Maxey and the rest of the crew picking up this W. We are presented by Crooked Tea. Make sure you pick up your Crooked Tea at a store nearest you and Bet365. It's never ordinary at Bet365. Sixers fans, stand up. Your team is undefeated through 3 games, front end of a back-to-back tonight as they took on the Magic. They hit the road to face the Washington Wizards on Tuesday in the District. We'll see how they follow this game up. But Rich, this was a really, really impressive win, and let's just get right to it and get straight at it as we go to the instant takeaway, the big takeaway right now from this basketball game, and that is the team win. The main thing, 136 points for the 76ers tonight against one of the top defenses in the league, I believe top 5 coming into tonight, and they hung 136 where you got 4 players. I mean, you look at the box score, and they had 4 players, count them, 4 players in double figures, and they scored 136 points, but they got contributions from everyone up and down the lineup. Great job by the players. Good job by Nick Nurse in coaching this awesome team that was shorthanded coming into tonight. Your thoughts right away about the main takeaway?
Yeah, I mean, I think the offense was the reason this was an amazing win, man. That was an awesome job. When Tyrese Maxey closed that thing out at the end, the first thing I said to you was, man, they deserve that, man. They, that was like a 4-point game. The Magic playing basically full strength against the Sixers, who already have trouble against bigger, more physical teams, right? They're missing Joel Embiid. They're missing Paul George, who's one of their bigger players. They're missing Trendon Watford. He hasn't played at all this year. And Dominick Barlow also has this elbow laceration, and he could certainly help on the boards. And you know what, man? Yeah. It didn't matter. And it didn't matter for a lot of reasons, right? I think there are, you can look up and down the roster for the contributions. And we're going to get to all of those guys tonight. I mean, pretty much everybody outside of, and of course he's going to be the first player I mentioned. This is classic Rich fashion here. Everybody outside of Hunter Salas, who got a couple minutes tonight, I think you could say, like, nice job. Like, somebody, they certainly contributed. And you know what? Hunter Salas, he soaked up a couple of possessions at the end of the second quarter, so good for him, too. I'm not trying to bag on Hunter Salas here, but they got contributions from up and down the lineup. They got hustle plays from guys like Kelly Oubre and Andre Drummond. But the big reason that they are 3-0 and they are the most fun team in the NBA right now is their guards are better than your guards. I cannot believe the level that Tyrese Maxey is playing at. I cannot believe the level that VJ Edgecombe is playing at. Quentin Grimes has picked up right where he left off from last year. Yeah, a little bit smaller of a role from that late season, high volume role that he had last year. And like you said, Nick Nurse, we're going to get to it. The offense is beautiful. It feels like these guys have been playing together for years. They know where to cut. They know all the options on every single play. There's always driving lanes for players. So this is going to be a fun post-game show, guys. Going to be a lot of compliments for the home team. And you know what? They deserve it. They kicked butt tonight. Awesome work by them.
Sit back, put your feet up, get your Crooked Tea, hang out with us. Make sure, we got to do it. Got to do it. You're all in there. Hit the like button, everybody. Your team is 3-0 right now. That was a great, great win from your basketball team. Hit that like button. We'll get to your super chats. We'll get to the Diehard Call-in voicemail a little bit later, and certainly Kyle Neubeck joining us a little bit later. But 3-0 after that. And look, that was the main thing, the main takeaway right there. But let's get to the player of the game here right away. Tyrese Maxey with 43 points, and he's got to the free throw line 10 times. Second consecutive game he's gotten to the foul line, double digits. 12 in the game on Saturday, 10 tonight. against the Orlando Magic. And it's important to point that out because the Orlando Magic got the whistle very early and the same thing in the third quarter where they were in the bonus with 9 minutes and 30 seconds left to play in the third quarter. And that was a big, big discrepancy right there where the Sixers just simply weren't getting the same calls, whether they were as aggressive going to the basket or not.
They're not as big.
Orlando got those calls and they got to the free throw line. And we point those out because they're free. They give you an opportunity to get to the free throw line and get free points. And when you look at the overall night, it was 38 to 32 when they finished compared to what it was in the first half, where it was 27 to 14 in terms of attempts at the free throw line. So Tyrese Maxey with 22 in the first half, and then the second half, he finished with 21. And I get to the fourth quarter here because when Orlando was making their run, the Sixers won the fourth quarter by 5, 35 to 30. Orlando cut that lead to 2. And we were sitting there saying, here it goes. They ran out of gas, didn't have enough players. The front court, as we talked about in the pregame show, just too much because they were too big, as Rich talked about. 2 all-stars in their team, some really good players in Desmond Bane, Jalen Suggs as well, Wendell Carter. And what they have, too much. Hats off, tip your cap to the Sixers. But no, Tyrese Maxey missed the first 5 minutes of that fourth quarter, everybody, because he was just flat out too tired after playing the entire third quarter and logging 12 minutes, scoring 9 points, taking 8 shots. And he had to do so much because of what he was doing. Grimes in foul trouble. You don't have Embiid out there to take some of the pressure off as an offensive player, even though you are getting what you're getting from Edgecombe and Oubre. You needed Maxey to be that guy. Somebody that we have talked about, can he get back to that? Clearly he has gotten back to that. But when you needed him the most, yes, setting the tone early, doing what he did, scoring the points, some good defensive possessions, getting to the foul line as well. For him to close out the fourth quarter the way that he did with 12 points in that fourth quarter, getting to the free throw line 7 times, making 6 of those. I'll knock off 2 because at the end, those 2 really didn't matter. It just padded his stats and gave him the 43.
He deserved them.
But he got there because, as you pointed out, he deserved them.
He did the work.
The MVP chance were warranted tonight because the team the crowd was into it. It was a great, fun basketball night, and he was the show. He was the star of the show. Everyone else who we'll talk about, and we did by giving them a total team win in this one, but he was the one. And when he started this season off at Media Day when we were there, he was upstairs talking and he mentioned the new standard. Then when he came down and sat down with us to have that sit down with us, and he explained it to us, what the new standard means. Being on time, being tardy, coming out every night and making sure the opponent knows that you're about to play the Philadelphia 76ers and their brand of basketball. Whether Embiid and George are out or in the lineup, you know what type of team you're going to face that particular night. And while Boston, they got down big, they threw some punches early where they were with Boston toe-to-toe early until Boston made their run to go up by double digits. But the team didn't give up. They continued to fight. And the guards and the total team win ultimately decided that, hey, we got to put this together to get that W. Same thing against Charlotte. Off to a really good start, but they gave it up. Charlotte came back, and they found their way of fighting themselves back into the game, ultimately winning another close basketball game, which we didn't see a lot of at all last season in their 24-win campaign. And then in this one, where we all talk about this is the first time that we get to see the Sixers led by Tyrese Maxey without Joel Embiid on the floor, and what will that look like? Now, we saw glimpses of it in the fact that Embiid through the 2 games was on a 20-minute restriction. How are they going to play now from start to finish without him? And all the Sixers did was come out and drop immediately 33 points in that first quarter to the 28. They shot it very well. They defended decently enough in the first quarter overall to lead that first quarter by 5 points. And then Orlando, it's a game of runs. They're a good basketball team. They're gonna fight back. They're gonna get themselves back into it. They're gonna make a game of this and eventually maybe even taking the lead. They did not take the lead. They cut it to 2. Maxey had to sit on the bench at the start of the fourth quarter because he was gassed. as good as he was in the third quarter, taking an 8 shot, scoring the 9 points, he still needed a breather at some point. And for him to come back in right around that 7-minute mark and get back into it and take over that basketball game the way that he did, hitting that three-pointer in transition, having the you-know-whats to take that shot after a tough runner to finish at the rim. Didn't get the call on the previous one, got it on the second one, and continued to attack the basket and force the officials to give him the whistle. And then he gets that, they make a good defensive play, the kick ahead, I think it was from VJ Edgecombe, and he just steps right into that three, right on the wing, and knocks it down. He told us about the new standard, and it was going to start with all of them. But he is clearly the best basketball player on this team right now.
Oh, yeah.
They go by however he leads, and he is leading them in the way that we discussed of could he get back to that level. And so far, it's only 3 games. But when you know when a player is that type of player, you know when you see it. We've seen it already. He's an all-star. We talked about him being an all-NBA level player that year in the 23-24 campaign and what it looked like. The new standard is his right now. He is setting the tone of what the team is going to go out there and prepare to play against their opponent every single night. When Embiid and George and McCain and Watford and all those come back, sure, they're going to have their moments. They're going to be as good as they are and perceived to be right now. But it's going to be up to him to really set that tone and that leadership that we talked to Nurse about, that we talked to Maxey about on Media Day. And with this new standard, the identity that is on this basketball team right now is grittiness, toughness, fight, fast pace, running up and down the floor.
Just never stop.
But the identity is him. Jeez. And right now, he is leading an undefeated team where we looked at it and said, through the first 5, if they go 3-2, that's a win for this basketball team. And they can still go 3-2, lose to Washington on Tuesday, lose to Boston on Friday. We'll get to them when we see them and how it happens. But for right now, tonight, as we talk about a 3-0 team led by Tyrese Maxey, he is setting that new standard with the identity that he is rubber stamping on this basketball team and putting the league on notice.
He is relentless. And I echo every single thing that you just said, because it's nice that, you know, we hear about in off-season workouts, he is taking the leadership. He is the one that is stepping up. He said that on Media Day. That has played out at the beginning of the year. And I got to say, man, as impressed as I am by him as a basketball player, because he is relentlessly skilled, he's tough, he's got a ton of stuff in his bag, he's got those floaters, he's driving to the rim, those right foot, same foot awkward finishes that he has. Obviously, we know he can step back and make all those threes. The thing that I'm most impressed with is his character. Like, he is relentless. And I'll give tonight as the perfect example of that. He took on the toughest matchups all game. We're going to get to VJ Edgecombe in a little bit. But the Magic's 2 best perimeter defenders, Anthony Black, Jalen Suggs, they were on him the entire game. When the Sixers offense bogged down a little bit in the third quarter, which is fine, by the way, it was humming on just almost an unsustainable pace in the first half. Once the Magic sort of turned up the pressure on defense, took away some of those easier plays that the Sixers were making, well, then, you know, Tyrese Maxey, it's like, you got to go make a play by yourself. And, you know, he shot, what did he shoot, 15 of 32 from the field tonight? So there obviously were some misses in there, but the responsibility that he has to shoulder is just massive on every single night. VJ Edgecombe, I'm very impressed with his ability to get into the mid-range, but Tyrese Maxey, when the offense bogs down, it is often him that has to make a play. Never got discouraged even when something went wrong tonight, just kept going. And man, how about the crunch time stretch? That's 2 straight games, right? Against Charlotte, he has the play where he makes the pull-up jumper, I believe, on Trey Mann to tie the game up. And then he forces the switch onto Con Knipple, throws that great bounce pass to Quentin Grimes for the game-winning three-pointer. Okay, awesome job on Saturday night in crunch time. And then, man, how about that stretch tonight? He, as they get disorganized, he gets all the way to the basket. Then after the stop, VJ has a little bit of trouble bringing the ball up. Okay, fine, a little bit of a lucky play. Tyrese springs free for an open 3. Guess what? We know he's going to make that one. And then he drives to the rim on the next play as well. 7 straight points to close out the game. Tyrese Maxey, again, relentless, has played, I believe, 42, 41, and 41 minutes, Iverson style, playing that many minutes, right? You mentioned that they sat him for a couple minutes in that fourth quarter, but that's really all they were able to do. Very impressed with him on a team full of coaches and players that I am super impressed by right now. I think it all starts with him. The leadership, the style of play, all of that stuff. He's been spectacular to start the year.
Fantastic performance for Tyrese Maxey with his 43 points. He did not do this tonight without his teammates. We said it at the top, team win led by Tyrese Maxey in the new standard. We have to show some love to the others when we get back. As we take our first break, we'll get to your super chats, the Diehard voicemail call-in a little bit later, as well as tapping in with Kyle Neubeck from the arena after the Philadelphia 76ers knock off the Orlando Magic 136-124. Awesome performance by all, led by Tyrese Maxey, who has been tremendous through 3 games. Coming into the game, averaging 34, he drops a cool, hangs 43 on Orlando tonight. Front end of a back-to-back, quick turnaround for the team, but we focus on this one tonight. Big win for the Sixers, 3-0 through 3 games. We come back, we talk about the others because he got a lot of help from his teammates tonight. We'll get into it all right here next on the PHLY Sixers postgame show. Our presenting sponsor, Bet365. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Didn't go perfect through 3 for me. That was Tyrese Maxey. But so what? I don't even care because they got the win, and it was a fun brand of basketball, whatever the moment. It's never ordinary at Bet365. If you want to jump in like we do on our pregame picks and maybe make your own for Monday Night Football, the World Series, whatever you want to throw your little coins in there on, you got to come in and jump in as part of the 90 million users worldwide. And listen, if you're a new customer and you have not decided to sign up yet, do it now. Because look, you get $300 as a new customer in bonus bets when you bet $5. Win or lose. Sign up. You can't lose. Sign up using the code PHLY365. Deposit $10. Place a bet for $5. And you get $300 in bonus bets if your bet wins or loses. Bonus bets can be used on spreads, totals, player props, futures, and more. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Must be 21 plus and physically located in Pennsylvania. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
And guys, everybody's got their favorite hard tea, but have you ever turned the can to read what's in it? You can't, because they don't tell you. And while they hide what's inside, Crooked Tea brags about it. Crooked Tea brews real USDA organic tea for flavor with 0 sugar. There's no fake junk hiding behind the label. What you see is what you drink. So next time you're at the store, flip the can. If you can't find the ingredients, just put it back and then grab a Crooked Tea, 0 sugar, real tea, and fully transparent. You know it, Philly. Real recognizes real, so why drink the fake stuff? Crooked Tea, the only thing better is a strip sack in the Super Bowl. Visit crookedtea.com to find a store near you.
Welcome back to the PHLY Sixers postgame show. Sixers 3-0, 136-124 over the Magic. Hit that like button, everybody. You see the foam finger? Get it in there. Hit that like button. There are a ton of you in there. Hit that like button. Get those numbers up. Tell President of Basketball Operations Bree how great of a job she is doing. Great of a job that they were doing tonight. VJ Edgecombe, 26. Kelly Oubre, 25. You get 51 points from those two guys there. We talked about it in the pregame, Rich, where Kelly Oubre had a quiet 19 against Charlotte on Saturday. A really good individual defensive performance from him as well. It wasn't quiet tonight. We were wondering how the 3-guard lineup was going to look. How many points were they going to put up after posting 70-plus points between the 3 in their win against Charlotte? Instead, it was 94 combined points from Maxey, Edgecombe, and Oubre, who chipped in with 25
He was just
tonight.
feeling it, man.
Yes, and early on, 39 minutes and 46 seconds, 9 of 16 from the floor, 2 for 6 from beyond. He had those 2 threes were big threes for where they came in the point of the game, made all 5 of his free throws, but he also led the team with 10 rebounds. No Joel Embiid, no Dominick Barlow. You're going to need help on the glass. Bona doesn't rebound well. We expected Drummond to maybe play a little bit more minutes and get more rebounds, but it was Kelly Oubre who had a game high, tied the game high with the starting center for the Orlando Magic, Wendell Carter. Kelly Oubre had 10 boards, 1 steal, 2 blocks, 1 personal foul in 39 minutes and 46 seconds.
He played hard, like
really
always,
good
too.
Individual defense as well, good team defense. He was really good tonight. We got to give him some love. Yes, we always talk about VJ, and we're going to get to VJ, but I got to show some love to Kelly Oubre.
So I think if you combine the last 2 games, Kelly is shooting 16 of 26 from the field. I mean, if you get that type of efficiency from him, like, look, the detractors for Kelly, they knock the shooting percentage, right? And that's one of the biggest issues. Well, he's been awesome the last couple of nights. Just get into the mid-range tonight. He made some plays, Devon, early on. It felt like, a very chaotic game back and forth where the Sixers were giving up a lot of points in transition, but they were getting points in transition as well. Kelly Oubre was the beneficiary of some of those, making some good moves. And then in the second half, man, he just made winning plays. Like whether it was he had a nice putback, he had a nice drive for an end one. He had a great rebounding sequence with Andre Drummond where he's just playing hard, right? And he's doing all the fun Kelly Oubre stuff where he's flexing, he's
push-ups,
he's doing
after he gets-
push-ups
yeah.
on the court. Really impressive stuff, man. Again, like just a pretty heroic 2 performances in a row from him. And as good as the guards have been the last couple of nights, they don't win either of those games if Kelly Oubre does not play well above average basketball. I don't know, man. Maybe the red hair's working for him.
Something's working. We keep talking about, the red hair, the hair on fire and all
Hair
that
on
stuff.
fire. Yeah, he's playing
And
like he's got hair on
like
fire.
his hair is on fire.
The red
And he's-
rifle, Kelly Oubre.
He's giving them a really good outing through 3 games. I was even wondering, again, everybody, because of the absence of Embiid and Barlow, would Nurse maybe go with the 3-guard lineup, maybe bump Oubre down to the 4, or decide to go with the 3 guards and push Oubre? But he wasn't playing too well. You couldn't do that. But he came out right away, man, and gave you right in the first quarter, setting that tone. He had 9 points in the first 12 minutes. He played the entire first quarter. He was 4 for 6, 1 for 3 from beyond, 5 rebounds. The Sixers got off to a quick start with their defense with the 3 block shots, 2 from Bona, 1 from Oubre, where they were just going at it together.
So we talked about that
Right.
that lineup. He went with the starting lineup,
Sure.
which was the biggest, most physical lineup he had. He didn't have a lot of physicality on hand tonight, and that's Nick Nurse. So he goes with, like you said, Maxey, VJ, Oubre, Jabari Walker, and Bona at the 5. That is their best defensive, most physical lineup that they could have thrown out there. And you're right, man. At the beginning of the first quarter and the beginning of the third quarter when they played those guys, it was chaos, man. There were a couple sequences. How about that sequence in the first quarter? Bona block, VJ, excellent body control to get to the left of Jalen Suggs. Beautiful finish. Then Kelly gets a block from behind. Bona would have blocked it if Kelly didn't block it.
Yep.
You get a Maxey 3 on the other end. Then they come right back. Bona blocks another one. And then he picked up a couple fouls right after that, but who cares? Anyway, it's just fun. I mean, like, again, it's not just the beautiful offense that we saw tonight. They do have lineups where they can chaos it up, right? And we can get some defense to offense. We can get some transition play, whether that's from VJ, whether that's from Kelly, whether that's from Maxey. They have some good team speed on this team. It's a matter of getting stops, which is a little bit of an issue for these guys, especially when they are as shorthanded and missing as many front court players as they did tonight. But man, it's a lot of fun to watch.
Now, this is a fun team right now, and that's why we made the thumbnail and the graphic. This team is fun because you could hear it through the television. We were all sitting here watching the game the way that we do. We communicate, we react to plays, but also just listening to the crowd through the television and how engaged they were with every possession, every basket, every block, every steal, every hustle play that, quite frankly, we didn't see enough of from this basketball team. It only amassed 24 wins the season ago, but you're getting a different level of basketball, a different type of team that we're seeing. And it's just a fun brand right now. And we pointed it out in the preseason and we pointed it out at the start of the year as well, that last season, when they lost the games early on, we were in denial of what it was ultimately turning itself into, where they went through the first 17 games and they were 3 of 14. Right now, I mean, I'm not overreacting.
3 of 14.
3 of 14. And we were like, if they get 5 in a row, they'll be fine. They'll get it together. Embiid is coming back. Paul George will get back to it. Right? Maxey will get it together. And it just kept spiraling in the other direction, and we know what it turned into. We'll get to what it turned into, the number 3 overall pick and VJ Edgecombe. But they're stacking the wins, like we said, and not overreacting and saying these 3 wins here very early are going to ultimately turn this team into a top 3 seed in the Eastern Conference and they're going to win 50 games. No, it's just that the way that we approached last season, thinking they were going to be a lock for 50 wins and being a top 4 seed in the Eastern Conference, in denial, though, when we saw the way that the season started, this is good because we talked about, again, I'm just going to use the term again, stacking the wins. You stacked the losses last year, and it got ugly.
They stacked the losses all right.
Stack the wins now.
Come on, they could lose their next 13 games. They'd still have a better record than last year.
Stacking the
They're
wins
not going to lose their next 13 games, by the way. They're going to win tomorrow night, so it's fine.
Stacking the wins now, though, is important because what it does is build the confidence in your teammates each night that you can go out there and you have a fighter's chance every night. And that's exactly what I think happens here right now, where they're believing in themselves right now because the first 2 they had to come back after being down by double digits in the fourth quarter.
This was wire to wire tonight.
Tonight it was wire to wire, and they led by as much as like 16 points in at some point in the game, and they had to fight their way back. 19 points they led by tonight, and they gave it up to lead by 2 late, but they found their way back once again to ultimately win this basketball game. So it just shows the fight and that they don't have quit. So stacking these wins right now gives them the belief that if they're in this position again in Game 7, Game 12, Game 15, that it's never over and they can come back and win.
This team is going to take different shapes throughout the season, right?
Absolutely.
They're going to add. They're going to add new players. Some guys are going to get hurt. Some guys are going to emerge. We don't know exactly what this is going to look like. Let's say even 20 games from now. But the idea that they keep fighting, and I said it on the pregame show, man. I was so impressed with that Saturday win because they just kept running. They just kept going, and it wasn't perfect. They were giving up all of those layups to Charlotte, but they just never stopped and kept going. That was awesome. And I think that standard that you have been talking about, that character that they have, they can continue to use that regardless of which pieces they are fitting in. So excellent start by them. I will say tonight, that was a pretty hilarious game to watch because you rarely get such contrasting play styles from the 2 teams. You have Orlando, who was getting anything they wanted at the rim. They definitely shot over 60% from 2-point range. Their free throws ticked down a little bit. I believe they shot 27 of them in the first half, but they couldn't shoot from the outside. They were turning the ball over like crazy. That one Banchero behind the back pass was one of the worst passes I've ever seen.
That was just stupid.
And meanwhile, so the Sixers are getting obliterated on the glass, inside, at the free throw line, but everywhere else, they're so much better than the Magic. They're skilled. They got 3 guards who can make plays off the dribble, including VJ Edgecombe. Man, what a shot that was off the dribble. So they got 3 guys who could pull up whenever they want. They took awesome care of the ball, Devon. They 7.1 turnover percentage tonight. That's 99th percentile stuff. To do that against the Orlando Magic, the big physical Orlando Magic, who are going to be a top 5 defense at the end of this season. I know they look pretty disappointing right now. I'm a little skeptical of what their offense is going to look like moving forward. That is a damn good defense. And the Sixers took care of the ball at an elite level. And guess what? They beat them on the offensive glass, man. Whether it's Drum, whether it's Bona, whether it's Kelly, whether it's VJ. Awesome stuff for the Sixers to win a game where I thought just seeing at how easy it was for Orlando to get inside, just because of the personnel too. And that personnel will improve for the Sixers as they get more reinforcements, particularly Embiid, Barlow, Paul George, Watford, more big bodies into the fold. Maybe somebody at the trade deadline down the line. We can. I shouldn't have said that. We can hold off. It's game 3. It's fine. It's game 3. But I'm dreaming about a trade deadline that doesn't involve just ducking the tax, man.
Or Trey Neubeck. Oh,
yeah, exactly. If he keeps playing well.
I know. All right, folks, listen. We're gonna take another break here. We come back. It's Valdez time. It's time to talk about Valdez and another spectacular performance by him. 26 points all over the place. Had to have some non-Maxey minutes, and he did pretty well. Had some moments where he looked like a rookie, but he also had some really good moments where he looked like the Valdez that we talked about on the opening night when he dropped the 34 points. We come back, we talk about VJ Edgecombe and others. The dial-in voicemail line as well. Superchats. Sixers win. They're undefeated. We're talking about them right now on the PHLY Sixers postgame show.
And guys, do you have that leaky faucet that you've been ignoring since the summer? Or maybe your heater's acting up now that it's finally getting a little bit cold outside. I like that cold. Ace Hardware Home Services has the pro for that. They're not just the helpful hardware folks, they're also the helpful home service and repair folks. From furnaces and boilers to electrical and plumbing, they've got trusted pros to keep your home cozy all season long. They're bringing helpful home. The helpful you love from the store, now to your front door, from Philly to the Jersey Shore. And when the temperatures drop, having your heat running strong isn't just nice, it's a must. So let Ace Hardware Home Services get it done right the first time. Visit acehardwarehomeservices.com to get started on your next project.
And I got to tell you about my good people from Rothman Orthopedics. Was having a conversation a little bit earlier with someone that I'm very close to, just simply talking about getting back out there on the basketball court, making sure I wear some higher top sneakers than the low cuts that I normally wear because of my Achilles. But because of my Achilles being repaired by Rothman Orthopedics, I can have that conversation with my folks and even Rich Hoffman. You never know. You might see us at a court nearest you. Whether it's a sore knee, stiff shoulder, nagging back, or something as serious as my ACL, my Achilles, and you have the same issue, Rothman Orthopedics is here to help you get back to the life you love. Their team of specialists treats all kinds of orthopedic issues from everyday strains to long-term joint pain with care that's efficient, effective, and close to home. Don't let pain keep you sidelined. Schedule an appointment today at rothmanortho.com/PHLY. Rothman Orthopedics, your mobility, our mission. Welcome back to the PHLY Sixers postgame show for your undefeated basketball team. And right now, I know it's only 3 games, your leading Rookie of the Year candidate right now at the top of the rookie ladder through 3 games.
He's on top of that ladder.
First week, he's at top of that ladder.
He's looking down at everybody else on that ladder.
Yes, he is, man. And look, I remember I went on the Anthony Gargano show last week ahead of the start of the season, and VG was telling Ant and I he's going to have 18 tonight against Boston. He's going to do this. And we're like, 11 and a half is right around where I think he's going to be for game 1 in the Garden against the Celtics. Yes, no Tatum, all that stuff, but still, it's tough ask on the rookie to go to Boston. Since then, he has dropped 34, 15, and 26 in 3 games. 26. And tonight, with his 26,
made it look good.
Very efficient, man. 10 for 17. 2 for 4 from behind the three-point line. A nice step back on the 3. Perfect from the free throw line with those 4 attempts. 4 rebounds, 7 assists, and 1 outstanding block shot that led to a Tyrese Maxey run out.
We were talking about those chaotic defense to offense, right?
Yeah,
DJ
man.
block, Maxey, amazing Euro step into a lefty finish.
Man.
High off the glass.
Rich, talk about VJ Edgecombe and what you've seen from him. As Bree, I get ready to send you the clip with the block leading to the Tyrese Maxey layup. Well, can you tell us what your initial thoughts are, your instant observations of VJ Edgecombe through 3 games, including tonight?
Well, I think we have some other clips for Bree. And this, Bree, it's the one from the PHLY Sixers account.
Okay.
Which is the one you were talking about, the step back 3-pointer.
Yes.
Devon, I fell out of my chair watching this. This is a shot I thought he might be able to make 3 years from now. Right? Like, when they drafted him number 3 overall, I thought, oh, man, like sizing up Paolo Banchero one-on-one, going through the legs, stepping back confidently, and drilling a 3 in his face. I thought maybe that's a year 3 type of thing, not a game 3 type of thing. It's unbelievable. I mean, Devon, think about back in training camp, he had a quote about Tyrese Maxey where he was off to the side with the media. and he was watching Tyrese Maxey. He was finishing up his post-practice workout. He's watching Maxey take these 35, 40-footers, and he's looking at it, and he kind of interrupts the media and goes, man, look at the release that Tyrese is getting on that. I got to ask him some questions about, how he's able to effortlessly shoot the ball from so far away. And I took note of that when he said that. I said, that's a good thing that he clearly notices that, hey, I got to get better at 3-point shooting. It's something I'm going to need to become a superstar in this league. That said, I thought this would be something he and Tyrese talked about. They worked on for, I don't know, months, years before we saw it in a game. And he's doing it in game 3, man. And it's funny. So tonight's game against Boston, it felt like Boston started that game by leaving him wide open from 3. They just didn't think he was going to be able to make even catch and shoot threes tonight.
Prove it to me.
Orlando did not do that tonight, man. His buckets were mostly self-created. And Bree, I think we had that other one from, I believe it's the NBA. It's an overhead shot, but it's something that the Sixers have been doing a lot early on. You can see they have Drummond set the screen. They're running Spain pick and roll a lot for VJ Edgecombe, where Drummond is going to set this initial screen, and then they have the step back jumper after that. But Drummond sets the initial screen. They have Tyrese Maxey setting a back screen next, and then you get the beautiful body control to Euro step and then throw a floater in on Desmond Bane. They are trusting VJ Edgecombe to run that Spain pick and roll. They ran it a bunch tonight. They got good stuff for Maxey flaring out after setting that screen. They got good stuff for VJ. They will be able to get good stuff for Drummond, the roller on that play. It's a very popular NBA set that is tough to handle. Yes. The fact that he can handle that and just be so under control early on, like we talked about this, early on in this game, we saw some great body control type of stuff. Like, obviously, that's a great move on the step back jumper. Nasty. The two moves, the play on Suggs in transition where he avoids the charge. The step through and then the floater on the Euro step. That's body control. As the game moved along, man, they started to just run basic pick and roll, and it wasn't anything flashy. VJ Edgecombe, who we all love for a lot of reasons, for his personality, the fact that he works hard, the fact that he is a nuclear, hard-playing athlete, man, he was just under control like a 10-year vet tonight. He was like, he's like Paul Pierce getting to his spots in the pick and roll. Obviously, he's a little faster and more athletic than Paul Pierce. But anyway, it's just like it's like beyond his years that he was able to pull up from 15 feet and make that shot. Get to the left side of the lane and shoot a floater. By the way, on good players, man. He had like Franz Wagner in his face the whole time. So the fact that he was able to get those 26 points tonight, and I would say like the last 10, 12, were just all under control, self-created type of things where it didn't really feel like it was that exciting. That excites me because we know we're going to get the highlight plays. We know we're going to get those dunks. And by the way, he's going to get one of those dunks in transition where he actually flushes it, and the building is going to go absolutely insane on one of those. I can't wait for the moment when he doesn't get fouled on one of those plays, or he doesn't get fouled hard enough on those plays, to be more specific. But man, just his composure and his ability to get into the mid-range and make those shots while also showcasing that, hey, the 3-ball is going to be coming at some point, and he's probably going to splash a couple of those per game while we're at it. I am blown away by how good this kid is. There was no scenario in my mind that he would have been this good and this polished 3 games into his NBA career.
Same, man. Same. No way, no how that I think he would be this good, this early, and showing everything. To your point, the poise, the trust that they have in him, the fact that on day one, VJ Edgecombe's name came out of Nick Nurse's mouth from practice, training camp practice, of how good he was, the opportunity that was presented. And look, the way he has played through training camp, maybe he would have started anyway, but the opportunity with Grimes not there yet and McCain now injured to start things up, who knows what. Look, the numbers might have looked that way and he may have shown these things, but the fact that they've started him and he has answered the bell this early, and the way that he has played, absorbing all this information from his teammates, asking questions, annoying them with those questions, but looking so under control with what he is doing out there on the floor as a 3-game under his belt rookie, and performing this way has just been fantastic. He is so young and still has so much to learn, but looks like he is a guy who has played in 3 years in this league and understand how to probe a defense, how to get a defender on his hip.
That's nuanced
how to
stuff,
run
man.
that Spain offense the way that they're doing it, and doing so against a defender like Anthony Black. And while Black is not maybe a all-NBA defender by votes, he is a damn good perimeter defender in the NBA, and that's his reputation. And he is doing that against him. Maxey doing it against him and Suggs. Same thing for Edgecombe against them. Doing it against Desmond Bane, who, while, again, not all NBA defensive accolades, when he was with Memphis, we looked at him and said, man, he doesn't give enough credit for the defense that he plays on that basketball team.
If he's your weak link, you're good.
Yes, absolutely. But
that's why they got him.
Yes, doing it against Jaylen Brown, doing these things against some of the good defenders on the Charlotte Hornets. He has been fantastic. Hats off to VJ Edgecombe for what he has been able to do so far. This is your backcourt going forward. As good as McCain is and what Grimes has done, that's your two guys coming off the bench to give you, where it's never, you never get a break from the backcourt when the Sixers have those four guards rotating in and out for one another. This kid has been fantastic, fantastic. And we'll get to the block. We'll get all that. We'll get to the voice call-in line as well. We got to take our final break here. We got so much to talk about. Kyle will join us from the arena if we have that time as well. This has been a fun conversation because it's been a fun team to watch, evaluate, and break down as they've shown us from game to game. So, final break here on the PHLY Sixers postgame show. We come back, we get to the Diehard voicemail call-in line, your super chats, more on VJ, and everybody else. We talked about the three guys that combined for 94 points. There was some good performances from others as well
absolutely.
In this basketball game. We'll fit it all in the final 19 right here on the PHLY Sixers postgame show, presented by Bet365 and our good friends from Crooked T. All right, if you're looking for a new vehicle and you want to leave these games in style, Elkins Chevrolet has you covered with their great vehicles that they have with the Chevys. Hey, sports fans, you know who's playing championship level basketball right now? Oh. Talking about the car deals every single day from Elkins Chevrolet, located on Route 73 South in Marlton, New Jersey. It's run by three brothers, Jason, Adam, and Josh. These guys are in the store every day working to make sure they have a huge lineup of Chevys at the best price and providing honking good service. I drive a Chevy, and when I heard about Elkins Chevrolet coming on to PHLY Network, I said, you know what? If I'm looking for a new one, I know exactly where I'm going. No turnovers, no drama, just real brothers running a local business and backing every single deal like it's a championship game. So if you're in the market for a new Chevy, make your next move to Elkins Chevrolet. Real brothers, real deals, a whole lot of honking good service. Shop now at elkinschevrolet.com. Together, let's drive.
And fellas, we all know the feeling. You walk into a jewelry store trying to pick something out for your wife or girlfriend, and suddenly you are in over your head. You're thinking, what's the difference between all these diamonds? Or what if she doesn't like it? Yeah, it can be stressful. That's why working with Joe and Michelle at Bucci's Jewelry and Design has been such a game changer. These guys make the whole process seamless. From the minute you walk in, they treat you like family. They actually listen to you, help you figure out what she'll love, and then their team designs something completely custom right there in-house for you. So, guys, no pressure, no pushy sales vibe, just good people who love what they do, and the end result, something you're proud to give and that she'll never forget. So, next time you need that perfect piece, go see Joe and Michelle at Bucci's Jewelry and Design, 30 plus years in the game, voted Philly's #1 jeweler year after year. Over 1,000 five-star reviews, speaks for itself. Check them out today at BucciJewelers.com. That's BUCCI Jewelers.com, and tell them that the guys at PHLY sent you.
And this is the PHLY Sixers postgame show. That's Rich. I'm Devon Breeze, the president of basketball operations. Hit that like button, everybody. Get those numbers up. Continue to get those numbers up. Got about 15, 16 minutes left of the show, maybe longer. Who knows? We're feeling good about tonight. See how things go. Let's get to the now very popular, very, very popular Diehard voicemail call-in line. Let's see who our call-in person is tonight, leaving a voicemail for us, Rich. It's our good friend Jay of the Jungle. Look at that. Jay of the Jungle. What do you have for us, my friend?
Jay of the Jungle here, trying to do this off the dome, as they say. Third quarter swoon came a little later than usual. Had a chance to really take this game and go up really big after the Desmond Bane small arm energy hissy fits. We just haven't been able to get the stops and haven't been able to extend the lead, and now it's gotten even closer. However, all in all, you gotta love the first half. A lot of game left to play. Hopefully they can continue playing great in the fourth quarter and pull out a win here and get the big fella back tomorrow and try to go 4-0 here. But it's going to take better defense than we've been playing in the past few minutes, and got to take this bull by the horns and finish this thing out.
Appreciate it. Jay of the Jungle hitting us up on the Diehard voicemail call-in line, and you too can be a part of that. If you are a Diehard member, make sure you go sign up to become a Diehard member so you can too leave a voicemail. And right now, still going on, 55% off to sign up to become a Diehard member. allphly.com. Go sign up. Take advantage. BG is nice. Look at that. He goes back to the birds and he says, you know what, everybody? 55% off. Let the people jump in so they can leave a message. Short arm energy is what Jay of the Jungle says, because Desmond Bane, what the hell was going on there, Rich? What was happening?
It's getting feisty out there, man.
Picked up 3 fouls in like 25 seconds, it seemed like.
2 dumb ones, too. He got one where he was stepping over Maxey. I guess he thought Maxey flopped, but yeah, he was just a little too aggressive out there. And then he got the one, I think he grabbed VJ's shirt or Justin Edwards' shirt.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was a little bit of a weird night for Bane. All right, we need to talk about the other guys too, right? Obviously, Oubre.
Can we get the VJ block in real fast?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's
get that. Everybody, this is what we were talking about here when we were talking about just the energy and how fun this basketball team is. And when you get a player like Banchero going downhill to the basket, it looks like he's going to, either dunk it or a creative way to finish at the rim. VJ Edgecombe, not even weak side necessarily, because he was on his backside there. Got the block. Maxey finishes. Tough finish there out in transition. But look at that, man. Just the athleticism. The timing was perfect. Did not foul. Got it clean while it was up in the air, not going down to drop into the basket. So when we talk about that, man, just how good that stuff is, man. Of what they missed that athleticism. We were praising so many others. Go get him, Rick. We were praising Rick and some others that will come in and provide the energy, the spark like that. This is 35 minutes a night now of that type of athleticism and that spark from VJ Edgecombe.
Yeah, I mean, those are the type of plays we knew, I think we were going to get right away, where he just makes, he's a great athlete, and he's also a smart defender as well, somebody who can read drivers from off the ball. Mm-hmm. Those are the type of plays that were baked in. We knew we were getting stuff like that, but we're also getting the other stuff as well. And the overall product is a two-way menace right now, man.
Unbelievable stuff. All right, let's get to the others, man.
By the way, this is getting called a glaze fest in the chat. You know what?
That's okay.
You know what?
Cool. Thanks for checking in. Hit the like button while you're here.
What else would we be doing? It should be a glaze fest.
A 3-0.
3-0.
And they've won 3 tough games where they weren't easy.
And they're making it look good.
Yes, and you have a rookie that's right now in the rookie ladder, and you have a guy who is, dare we also say, at the top of the league in scoring points? I don't know. Yeah. Continue to glaze, because they're a good basketball team. Let's glaze some more.
I just love that people are saying I'm too positive now. Usually it's the other way around.
Let's glaze some more.
This is unbelievable.
The defense is bad. Right now, they're outscoring teams.
Yeah, it's bad.
Yeah, they have to figure it out. Right now, they're outscoring teams. We'll have plenty of time to talk about how bad the defense is. Let's get to the others. Appreciate you checking in, though, and leaving a comment. Hit the like button if you're sticking around. If you're on your way out, please also hit the like button and come back tomorrow. Pre-game show at 6:30 right here on the PHLY Sixers podcast. All right, the others here. Adem Bona, 4 rebounds, 7 block shots. He gets to start, 24 minutes. He was the one that didn't get in foul trouble. Right? We were worried about him getting in foul trouble. He was the one that did not get in foul trouble tonight. the jumpiness, the activity, and all of the things that we talk about with his athleticism, his rim-to-rim running, was on full display tonight in a positive.
Plus 21.
In a positive.
Team high. And
yeah.
They probably should have played him a little bit more. It just felt like Drum was just not offering any rim protection at all.
But he did have a moment where he was positive also.
Oh, sure.
So
Drum did some good offensive rebounding type stuff as well. I'm not saying that. But the other night, Drum was definitely better than Bona. Tonight, Bona was better than Drum. And he was a violent rim protector. I would say he had that moment where he got a couple quick fouls early in the first quarter, but he made some big hustle plays in the second half as well. So Bona, good effort from him. That's a tough team to play against. They're
got
big
on the floor
and physical.
with the hustle where you talked about it. It looked like it was going to be a defensive rebound by the Magic. He dove for that rebound, tipped it, and then got on the floor, and the Orlando Magic player touched it, and it rolled out of bounds. Possession stays on Philadelphia's end. So those are the type of effort plays that we talk about.
Good hustle play from him. All right, next. Quentin Grimes, who had 14 points. The one thing about Quentin Grimes, even though he's, what is he, 6'4"? He gets great elevation on that jump shot, man. And there were a couple plays in the first half. Like there was one against Franz Wagner where Franz Wagner is hugging him off the ball. Quentin Grimes makes a very simple cut, like a 5-foot cut to beyond the 3-point line. He catches it right away and rises up over Franz and hits the three. You had other times where he rose up over Tyus Jones in the game. He got fouled a couple of times on 3-pointers. And I think that there might be, Kate Scott made a good point on the broadcast, I thought, that there might be something to the fact that the elevation that he gets on his jump shot leads to him getting fouled a little bit more. Mm-hmm. Look, another strong game from Quentin Grimes. Nothing, I would say nothing spectacular in this one from him, but he was out there for key moments. And then the guy I really want to give credit for 2 huge plays. Grimes fouls out with, I believe, 4 minutes and 7 seconds left in the game. Fouls out. He was playing hard. The Sixers got a million fouls early in this game, as we talked about. Magic were shooting free throws the entire second quarter. At that point, Nick Nurse has a choice. Does he go to Eric Gordon, who was shooting the ball pretty well? We can get to him in a sec. Nice little appearance kind of out of nowhere from Mr. Gordon.
Yes, it was.
Instead, they go to Justin Edwards, who comes in. And a few minutes later, like just a couple minutes later, out of a timeout, Sixers are stuck. Maxey throws the ball to Edwards at the end of the shot clock. Edwards pump fakes, drives into the paint, nice and calm, flips it in for a bucket. And then on the next possession, Paolo Banchero gets him on the switch, and he stands up one-on-one. Tough mid-range jumper for Paolo. Didn't let him get all the way to the rim. Paolo misses it short. Sixers get the rebound, and they did not look back from there. Nice work from Justin Edwards for the second straight game. Coming in off the bench, he did not expect to play in certain circumstances in both those games. He didn't expect to play at all in the game against Charlotte. He did not expect to play at all late in this game, but Quentin Grimes fouls out. He was ready. He knew the assignment, and Justin Edwards, we talked about it. Summer League and preseason might not be that great. The games that actually count.
When the lights come on, he's ready.
I would trade, right? Summer League and preseason, he stinks. Regular season and postseason, he's good. I think you make that trade any day of the week. But again, a very nice performance from Justin Edwards, who, for whatever it's worth, just seems like a pretty heady player out there.
Nah, contributions all around. That's why at the top again, when we made this the main takeaway, this was a team win. The 43 points stands out for Tyrese Maxey. He has been outstanding. The 94 combined between Maxey, Edgecombe, and Oubre, tremendous work by them where you knew you needed points without Joel Embiid on the floor. 20 last game. So, of course, we look at that and say we know Joel Embiid can actually get in. So with that, let's just do a temperature check right now, Rich, where we got to do the Ace Hardware temperature check presented to you by Ace Hardware Home Services.com. Temperature check, who's heating up, who's cooling off. Well, heating up, I actually want to give it to the team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody.
Give it to the team because they're 3-0. We continue to glaze. Sorry about that. They're 3-0. They're at the top of the Eastern Conference, undefeated, with the Chicago Bulls, by the way. The Sixers and the Chicago Bulls, undefeated, leading the Eastern Conference right now, top 2 teams in the East.
That feels like a likely conference finals matchup,
100%, 100%. Cleveland, see you in the first round when they'll knock you off early. But yeah, man, I mean, just the team win that this is right now and the way that they're playing, believing in one another. The fact, I was just looking at a super chat, Bree, that was there from, who was it? EJ Barrett saying, Maxey even bringing the ball up the court is feeling different. He has a lot more confidence in his handle, and he brought back the floater, which he got away from for some reason last year. When Derek, Kyle, Rich, and I talk about this, I'm the one that's more in favor of the floater and the runner because I think it's an effective shot because he scores at every level. So I'm not mad at that, and he gets up a high number of threes. But when EJ Barrett is bringing that part up, again, I just go back to what the standard now has been set by Tyrese Maxey, but the mindset from that and the total team mindset coming in of where they're heating up and they're deserving of a temperature check right now because after 3 games, they've had to win by fighting and coming back, fighting and clawing at every possession, every shot, every free throw, every rebound, whatever it has been to pick up these 3 wins and go undefeated right now. This could change through the next 3 games, but for right now, they're hot. They are really hot. Again, they sit at the top of the Eastern Conference right now with the Chicago Bulls tied for the only 2 undefeated teams in the East.
You mentioned Maxey and the floater. Yeah, I mean, like at some point, especially when you're playing a tough Orlando defense and the offense bogs down, sometimes that's the best shot you can get. That's life as a number 1 option in the NBA. You got to make something happen. They take away all the good options. They take away the catch and shoot threes, the dunks, all of those. You got to get busy. You got to make something happen. And he got to his floater a few times. He ends up shooting 11 of 19 from 2. That's good because that's a tough team to play against. And 9 of 10 from the free throw line. I know a couple of those were late in the game when they were fouling. But when you add that with 8 assists and just 1 turnover, he was really good. Really good floor game. Again, I said relentless earlier, just a courageous effort from Tyrese Maxey. Just never stopped fighting, never stopped, just continues to go 100 miles an hour until the end of the game. And at the end of the game, despite the fact that he logs 42 minutes in this one, he was the fastest guy on the court at the end. He was the guy making the plays at the end.
Who's heating up? Your Philadelphia 76ers, 3-0. Top team in the Eastern Conference right now, sitting there, number 1 in the East standings with an undefeated 3-0 record. They're heating up with the hardware, Ace Hardware temperature check. Visit Ace Hardware Home Services online at acehardwarehomeservices.com to get started on your next project. All right, let's get to the Super Chats because we have a ton of those as well on a night like tonight where the Sixers improved to 3-0. They're undefeated. Bree, could you enlarge those a little bit because they're a lot? So with that, let's get to Mark Jackson. First great win. Second, as the season goes on, should there be a concern about the minutes for Maxey? By the way, first team All-NBA. Are we over the process years yet? Process been over. So yes, Mark, over those already, especially with this being the new standard. And it looks like he's probably going to be the best player on this basketball team, at least the face with Joel Embiid of this basketball team. What do you think?
Yeah, you can't be playing him 41 minutes for an entire season.
He was tired in the third quarter. He was tired.
And by the way, these are hard 40-minute games. Like I've been saying the entire pod, the fact that he has so much on his shoulders offensively, I think it's a testament to his relentlessness, his motor, that he's able to still play that well in the fourth quarter because this is exhausting. And no, this is not sustainable. Here's the good news. They're going to start bringing in more players who will take a little more offensive responsibility off his plate. And hopefully, once in a while, they can do the old school load management where they blow a team out and playing him 40 minutes is not required. They can sit him down late in the third, early in the fourth, whenever he sits, and then they just run away with the game because Quentin Grimes and Jared McCain and VJ Edgecombe are cooking with Paul George and Joel Embiid and all these guys. So hopefully you get that. So, Mark, no, it's not sustainable for now. I think it's okay. They're very shorthanded. They've needed all 40 minutes in all of these games from him. So for now, it's okay. But yeah, it's not sustainable.
Absolutely. Thanks for the super chat there, Mark. Mark has another one, actually. Can we talk about the differences, guys, we've seen in the third from the first 2 games? Actually, you know what? Before we get to that one, Bree, let's make sure we let everybody know that it is overtime here. It's time for it. allphly.com on the PHLY Sixers post-game show. Head over to allphly.com. We thank you so much for hanging with us on the television side. If you want to continue with this coverage right now, allphly.com is the place to go. Talk about the differences for us, Rich, the guys you've seen in the third from the first 2 games compared to this particular one.
Well, they got blown out in the third quarter, the first two games. It was their worst quarter both times. They lost the third quarter tonight, 34-29. Little bit misleading because that included an Anthony Black, what was that, an 85-footer, 80-footer?
That three-pointer?
Yeah, it was a bomb.
That was yeah.
That's the only reason they lost the quarter by 5. So there was a better fight, I thought, in this quarter. Got a little bit stagnant with the Grimes and VJ only lineup or towards the end of that stretch. Anyway, I thought there was a better fight, right? And I think it was because of the defense to offense stuff we saw at the beginning of the quarter in this one. Look, the third quarter has been an issue for these guys. I got to imagine that that's a little bit random. And, as they sort of round into form, they will start to play a little bit better in the third quarter. But yeah, it's been their trouble spot so far this year.
Yep. It's been a big trouble spot. They got down big against Boston. Same thing against Charlotte where they allowed them to get back into the game.
Transition defense, getting to the rim. And look, there was some of that in tonight's game as well. I thought the fight was a little bit better in tonight's game. Also, they built themselves a lead in this one too.
Yep, absolutely. All right, we get to the next one here from our friend Yams. Will someone call an Ambler alert? Brian Pumper is missing. Pump it up segment of the night. VJ with 26.
Does he have a go-to move?
He is rolling with the non-go-to move. He is rolling. APB, Bree.
He did
send out the APB for B Pump. He'll be back.
He did not have a go-to move tonight because he had 6 or 7 awesome moves that he kept going to in the half court. The variety. But there was a lack of a go-to move in this one from VJ because he was showing off a variety of things he could do to put the ball in the basket against the set defense, and a damn good one at that.
Thank you. Appreciate that, Yams, for reminding us that we haven't seen B Pump tonight. Will we see him soon? We don't know. Riaz, this was an awesome win, Devon and Rich. Feels good to beat good teams being undermanned. I look forward to, Paul George's return, taking on guys like Banchero. We just need that one perimeter defender. Let's go. Thank you, Riaz.
I agree, Riaz. I think PG, they need him more on defense than on offense, for sure. I mean, the offense is absolutely humming with these guards right now, but they are missing a little bit of size on the wing, a little bit of athleticism, off-ball defense versatility. You can see that when other teams are driving to the basket and getting whatever they want. So I think that is an astute point by you that PG is going to help on that end.
Do you push him back sooner? Let's say he was back at the end of this week.
There's no rush.
Do you maybe stretch it to Sunday or maybe early next week? Or do you just play him and, of course, just have him on a minutes restriction because you know that you have the others that can contribute?
I think hopefully they would have done this regardless of what their record is, because Paul George is important to their ultimate ceiling this year. Hopefully they would have eased him back in a responsible manner. It seems like they are doing that with Joel Embiid to my eye right now. But yeah, there's no rush. Like you said, they're banking wins right now.
Stack them up. Ash is back. You know I was Embiid's #1 fan, but I have a new favorite player, Valdez VJ Edgecombe. Wow, love the kid. Can do it all out there on the floor with the rocket ship emoji. That kid is going places. Ash, welcome back. Good to see you here. Don't be a stranger. VJ, fantastic.
He's the best. Good to see you, Ash.
James, checking in. Am I wrong to say that James, we love Kate.
Thanks for the super chat.
We love
James.
Kate. We love Kate, and still have love for my people over at my former place of employment. But thank you for hanging out with us here, James. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, James.
Thank you for the super chat. And Digital, VJ, and Maxey has what Embiid and Simmons didn't: a thorough old head with hardware at their position. Lowry's veteran leadership in the locker room is major.
That's a bold claim, Digital, after 3 games. But I do agree that they both seem to have an old head with hardware. Is that how we put it?
That's what he's, yeah.
Anyway, I think they both...
He's got a championship.
They both are
He's got
very...
a ring.
They're mature up there. I would agree with you
Got a ring
on that. Yeah, no, VJ Edgecombe wise beyond his years. It is very different from the Embiid Simmons era where those teams, even when they were good, even when they were ascendant in 2017-18, those teams were very heavy on the defense. They turn the ball over all the time. Like these guys are just running and gunning and very, very poised. Defense isn't great, but they are awesome on offense. One more thing, and I assume we're going to get to Kyle pretty soon here.
He's ready now.
The one thing I will say, because we have not given this guy credit yet, and we were all over him last year. Awesome start to the season for Nick Nurse.
Yes, indeed.
Awesome. He got the challenge right at the end of the game as well, but that's a small thing. The offense looks wonderful. Like last year, I do think he probably got caught a little bit off guard with, hey, we thought Joel was going to be able to play this year. We were going to run everything through him. We were going to just let him create. He came into this year, it felt like, with a much more of a backup plan where, hey, we need to play more of a team style. And they're in the same sort of setup every time. It's a 2-3 setup where they have two guys on the wings and the corners. They have two guards up top. Sometimes it's a center or forward up top. And guys, they're running it like they've been running it for like 5, 6, 7 years. It's just crazy how sharp they are on that end of the floor. And for a guy who I think we've questioned his offensive sets for a lot of the last year and a half, great start for Nick Nurse.
A lot of good stuff.
He has these guys playing at a high level. Give credit to the guys for executing the scheme and making the shots. It sure helps when you have Eric Gordon making crazy layups and Kelly Oubre making all the contested jumpers. But Nick Nurse has these guys in the right spots too.
Yes, he does. And Kyle is right now in the right spot hanging out with us on the Xfinity mobile call-in line from the arena, from the Xfinity mobile arena. Kyle Neubeck joining us to talk about the Eastern Conference leading 3-0 Philadelphia 76ers. Kyle, did you expect to say that as we got the season underway? 3-0 Eastern Conference leading Philadelphia 76ers.
Of course I didn't expect to say that, Devon. We spent all offseason saying, hey, we'll be happy if they're just, fun to watch and the young guys are a little bit exciting. And you're thinking, hey, normal first team all rookie type season for VJ Edgecombe. Tyrese Maxey is Tyrese Maxey again. And then VJ Edgecombe has one of the greatest rookie starts in the history of the NBA. And Tyrese Maxey's dropping repeated 40 balls. And it's just unbelievable what we're seeing, right? Everything is working right now. The depth is producing. Like they're getting Eric Gordon off the bench, multiple threes, drives to the basket. Justin Edwards contributing. Andre Drummond and Adem Bona both contributing. Like Hunter Salas played first half minutes tonight and the team didn't completely fall apart, right? So I'm in a state of disbelief right now, quite frankly. It didn't feel like the Sixers were allowed to have good and nice things and positive starts, right? But they are arguably the feel-good story in the NBA right now. And mostly, I'm happy for us, right? We went through a lot last year. We had to watch that team all the way to the end wearing tank helmets and you guys doing post-game shows and Derek and I here at the arena. And look, man, we made it. We're here. And boy, is this team fun to watch right now.
Kyle, I guess let's start. Let's move VJ to second. I think Tyrese Maxey is the story of this game. It just feels like he came in saying that the standard is going to be different this year. I am going to lead. There were reports of kind of him taking control of those summer workouts. And man, in these first 3 games, like he has just been completely relentless. Like the fact that he gets to 40 points tonight against Anthony Black guarding him the entire game, against Jalen Suggs guarding him the entire game, against like a physical Orlando defense. I just thought even more than his skill level, which is off the charts, and we know about all the things he can do on the basketball court, the fact that he is just this persistent and this relentless and able to play 40 minutes every night, it sets a great example for everybody on the team. But really, it's just damn impressive to watch from back here too.
And look, what I would say is I'm going to echo something Kelly Oubre said after the game tonight. He seems like he's playing angry, right? Like he's somebody that came off of last season and said, this isn't acceptable. Like, I don't want this. He's been very open. Like, I hate to lose. I don't want to go through years like this. I don't want to go through weeks of this, let alone months, let alone an entire season. And he and a lot of his teammates keep circling back to the offseason and these pre-camp scrimmages, the informal workouts, how hard guys are playing, like the intensity day to day of these workouts. And Tyrese comes in, a bit midstream in those, and he's like, I love this, but you guys got to understand, this is what it's got to be moving forward. This is what it's got to be every day. This can't just be hey, we're having these tough physical, no foul scrimmages, and then it lets up as we get into camp, as we get into the season. We got to bring it every single day. I think he used the phrase, we got to mind our P's and Q's, was what he said at the podium tonight. And I think on the floor, something that I saw a lot in the first half, I love seeing him initiate contact the way he has a lot this year, right? There a lot more of the drive a shoulder into somebody's chest, move them out the way, and then take the layup, right? And as he got into, minute 37, 38, 39 of that game, maybe there's not as much of that, and there are a few of the falling away from the basket type shots. But I just love the more direct approach that he's taking on a lot of these drives, and he's being rewarded for it, right? He's getting easier layup opportunities. He's getting clear floater opportunities. He's getting fouled going to the free throw line. And then obviously he steps out, and this is still a guy that when he takes a open three, when he takes a step back three, no matter what the percentages say, it always feels like it's going in, right? Like I said to Derek as we were watching that one late three go up, I said bang before that shot even left his hands. It was, you felt total conviction that this guy was going to deliver them that win at the end of that game. And that is a really powerful feeling to have.
I think I know which one, Kyle, you're talking about, because it was the pass, I believe, from Edgecombe, Maxey on the wing,
Yep.
and it was a big momentum swing because Orlando had already started to chip into that lead, get into the basket with ease and getting finishes while it was a push shot floater at the front of the rim or just simply getting a layup. And that was much needed right there. The look from VJ to have the wherewithal to kick that ball ahead the way that he did. And Maxey just saying, you know what? Yeah, I've been finishing at the rim, another double-digit night from the free throw line, but I'm stepping right into this one confidently and knocking it down.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's nothing that you could say about Maxey that would feel exaggerated right now, right? I said to Derek in the locker room, he got the MVP chance tonight. He might be at the top of the MVP ladder if that were to come out right now, right? They're 3-0. He's playing great. And then, like you brought up Edgecombe, and I do think he was second fiddle, but a great second fiddle tonight. It's unbelievable to me that this is this kid's third game in the NBA, watching him play, because, first half, he basically did nothing but score. And I mean that in a good way, right? He scored in all types of ways. I'm sure you guys pulled up the crossover step back three that he hit,
Fell
which
out of
is
my
just
chair.
a monster shot, right? He had a spin move into a mid-range pull-up in the first half, and he's
So
doing all
tough.
this stuff. He's like one of the featured players of the offense, right? And he only scores 8 points in the second half, but it feels like he's just as impactful, right? Like chase down block and transition. Big steal at the end of the third quarter, hits Maxey on an outlet, and Maxey gets a big layup before the end of the quarter. Ends up with, what was it, 6 or 7 assists by the end of that game, I believe, something like that. And he is just, there's never a moment where you're like, oh, he's not involved in the game. He's always moving. He's always thinking. He's always seeing things ahead of other people. And all of that, only having 2 turnovers as a rookie who is handling the ball and controlling the team quite a bit, right? Like, just an incredible start to this kid's career. We were all very bullish on VJ Edgecombe, talking about him in the pre-draft process and after Summer League and after preseason. And it just feels like every time we think we're setting a new bar for him, it's like, I got something more for you, right? It's that old LeBron meme. I got 2 more for you. Like that's been VJ Edgecombe to start his NBA career.
Yeah, I mean, he's been amazing, Kyle. Like his ability to just get into the mid-range, and it's not even like crazy athleticism. It's just great feel, shot making. It's like something you would expect an 8-year vet to do. Speaking of a veteran player who has certainly played a very strong last 2 games, that's Kelly Oubre. Man, I mean, he's just was all over the place tonight. Yes, he made a couple of difficult shots in the first half, but he made some monster hustle plays in the second half as well. And it just feels like, hey, if you're getting over the last 2 games, you're getting 16 of 26 from the field from Kelly Oubre. In addition to the rebounds, he led the Sixers in rebounds tonight. In addition to some key transitions, some key hustle plays, key defensive plays, that's going to help them stay in these games, especially as they're pretty darn small in the front court.
Yeah, I mean, he was incredible tonight. Nick Nurse called that his best game in a Sixers uniform, and I think I'm inclined to agree with him. I think the thing that has jumped out at me about Kelly to start this year, but also even in last year's nightmare season, right, is that I know what his reputation is, and I know what some of those tough shots were tonight, right? He got stuff to go down that I'm sure Nick Nurse, part of him is like, no, yes, because it went down, right? But I think the difference that I've seen from Kelly Oubre last year or two is that if he takes those shots early in a game and they're not going down, I largely think he has stopped forcing it as much, right? Like tonight, he justified taking those shots because they kept going in, right? He's feeling it. It's like, okay, if you take a tough pull-up mid-range here, that's fine. The Boston game where he hits that big 3 at the end of the game to help them win that one, I think he was, 1 for 5 leading into that, right? He started off slow, but did not turn it into, I'm going to force up my shot to hunt it. I'm going to take shots within the flow of the offense, and otherwise I'm going to commit myself to defense. I'm going to commit myself to rebounding. I'm going to do the little things that help basketball teams win games, right? And so I think that's an appreciable difference about how Kelly Oubre plays basketball. And I was sitting there tonight, I was like, man, I wonder if it's just he has found his spot, like his home. Like he's just in a Nick Nurse team and style. Like he fits in a lot of the ways Nick Nurse wants to play. He's certainly matured with his game and just as a person getting older. Like just a tremendous game from Kelly tonight. And even when he doesn't have the 7 for 9 first half and the 25 points, I just think he is a big part of the playing hard, loose balls, run up and down culture that these guys are trying to build.
And Kyle Neubeck joining us from the Xfinity Mobile Arena, joining us on the Xfinity Mobile call-in line. And without Joel Embiid, without Dominick Barlow, we were wondering where the rebounds were going to come from. Naturally, you lean and look towards Andre Drummond in Embiid's absence. But Oubre had 10 to have the tie for a game high with Wendell Carter. And while we can still talk about Bona and Drummond, what they did at the center position, Eric Gordon and all coming in and providing what he did, but to get those 10 rebounds, again, not giving those second chance opportunities to the Orlando Magic, not leaving doubt. We always talked about snatching the rebounds, securing them, squeezing the pill, and that's exactly what he was doing. He was leaving no doubt as they were out there.
I just love, Devon, that they're getting contributions from guys up and down the lineup, right? Like this is a game that there was a star player. This is a game where the rookie was a star, but there's room for Kelly Oubre to make an impact. There's room for Quentin Grimes to hit, a couple shots before he ultimately fouls out of the game. There's room for Eric Gordon and Andre Drummond. Adem Bona with a sequence in the first half where he had blocks on 3 straight possessions. I think one was probably a goaltend, by the way, but he was credited with 3 blocks because they didn't call it. And it's man-to-man, play-to-play. There has just been a level of relentlessness and, frankly, athleticism that they have not had in recent memory, right? Like this is a team that is built differently, was built differently in an intentional manner. And I think you can see it, you can feel it. And listening to these people watching their team here tonight and social media, everywhere else, you can feel the buzz that this team is creating from their first 3 games.
Kyle, we talked about it. Get the fans back into it, and you never know how much you can feed off of them and win a close game like they have done in both Saturday and here on Monday night. Kyle, we'll get you out of here, man. Thanks so much. We'll see you tomorrow, 6:30 pregame as the Sixers right back at it, man. No breaks. Got the Washington Wizards tomorrow, and we have a pregame show, 6:30. Kyle, Derek, myself, Bree will all be here. Rich will be back next Friday, when the Boston Celtics are in town. Kyle, have a great rest of your night, man. Be safe, and we'll see you tomorrow at 6:30 on the pregame show.
Thank you, guys. Who would have ever thought we'd be excited for a back-to-back in October?
Keep it going.
Boy, are we.
More basketball. Absolutely.
Yes.
Make sure you go read Kyle at allphly.com. His good, bad, ugly. I'm guessing there was a lot of good in there in this story.
Not too much of it. The interior defense kind of
That part. We'll worry about that when it results in an L. Thanks, Kyle. We'll appreciate it, man. And right now, undefeated, 3-0. Make sure you go sign up Diehard. Become a Diehard member, allphly.com. One more super chat. EJ Barrett, late one, says there was a timeout. This is off of the conversation we were having with Kyle where we talked about stepping into that three. I remember this, EJ. He says the timeout late where Maxey shoots a three, a deep one after the whistle, and it goes in. Nothing but net. No sells, no sells it, just goes to the bench. I said, oh, he's about to close. Great observation, EJ, because we saw the same thing. And it was just one of those nonchalant, he just knocks it down, whatever. They needed the timeout. Go to the bench. No celebrating with anybody. Just he knocked it down. It didn't count. Close out the game. As the stars do, he closed out the game.
He's been so good, man. He's been so good. And Kyle, I mean, he nailed it, right? Who would have thought we would have been so excited for a back-to-back in Washington? But I'm excited. Can't wait to watch tomorrow night.
And look, just brief, before we say goodbye, your thoughts on the Washington Wizards, Rich, because they have played well. They have competed in these games. They've already defeated, what was it, Houston or Dallas that they have defeat Dallas. And right now in the standings, the Washington Wizards are 1-2, but they are competing. They have fun players, Kaishan George, our guy Trey Johnson, Alex Sarr, certainly Bub Carrington. You have veterans, Chris Middleton, CJ McCollum as well. They go out there and they compete, man. They really do go out there and compete. So just your initial thoughts on the second night of a back-to-back, Joel Embiid coming back, and this Washington team hosting the Sixers, where this was a highly competitive game tonight for the Sixers.
Yeah.
Washington had the night off. How do you look at this one? Early observations.
I think the Sixers have more talent than them, but they do have a rest advantage. They played on Sunday night. They got their butts kicked by the Hornets at home. So
they did.
That Hornets team is not too bad right now. They can play some offense. That Hornets team right now. We'll see if they can keep it up for the rest of the year. But they got a lot of talent on that side of the ball. I'm more worried about just this was a very draining win for these Sixers, and Joel Embiid is the only guy that got the night off. So he's going to have to bring the energy for his 20 minutes. We'll see if that's the case. But yeah, I mean, that's going to be a tough bounce back against a team that has a rest advantage.
Yep. So we'll have the pregame show for you tomorrow, everybody, beginning at 6:30 as the Sixers finish off the second night of their back-to-back in Washington, in D.C., taking on the Washington Wizards, a fun young team. Well, the Sixers, good teams, they go out there, they respond to some adversity like this. We've seen 3 games of adversity, and they've had the answer. Can they do so once again for the 4th consecutive game against the Washington Wizards, and then having off Wednesday and Thursday before getting back at it, where Rich and I will have the pregame show against the Boston Celtics for the second time in 5 games as they take on their division rival. All right, everybody, that is going to do it for us. We once again want to make sure that we let everybody know that we appreciate you for checking in, hanging out with us on a Monday night for another entertaining basketball game for your 3-0 Philadelphia 76ers. We are presented by Crooked Tea. Head to the stores nearest you to pick up your Crooked Tea and sit back, relax, crack that cold one with the Crooked Tea. And as always, Bet365. It's never ordinary at Bet365. New members, when you sign up at PHLY 365, you get $300 in bonus bets. When you deposit 10, place a bet for 5, win or lose, $300 credited to your account. Let's get ready for the world famous
roll call.
Yes, indeed. Let's start it off with, let's go to our Super Chats first. Win Mark Jackson, Riaz, Ash, EJ Barrett, Digital, Yams, and James. We
Thank you,
appreciate
everybody.
everyone for your donation and your Super Chat. Win forever. Same James. Jay of the Jungle with the Diehard voicemail on the call-in. What up, Jay?
What up, Jay?
Theo, Kyle Wright, Tom Jackson, Nona, hey Nona, Dave P. We got Gene Ross in there, Densley Richard, Hedva, Jack Reacher. Can we get a Jack Reacher number 3? I like the first 2. Let's get a third one. Put us in the third movie. We won't mind. We won't mind being a part of that. Hey, Mom. Saw Mom earlier today on the way in. Hey, Mom. Remo K. Terrence Knights as well. B Knight. What up, Brian Knight? Always good to see you. Yams is back. What up, Yams? Jess with the roll call. She's got the Purple Heart. She's hanging out with us here tonight. We also have Al, the 2-minute warning. What up, Al? SB Cole, Phi Chi, who else do we have? DC Marley, Rick Morris, Lane Bruno, all the great folks that we had hanging out with us tonight as part of our post-game show where your Philadelphia 76ers improve to 3-0. Vino Wines, I saw you, Vino Wines. My apologies. I just missed it real fast. Prophet won as well. Same James we mentioned. Theo, Confucius in the chat.
Old school.
What up, Confucius? Spirit 42, Scott, everybody else. There's so many of you. Thank you so much. On the way out, hit the like button.
Hit that like button.
Get that number up. We're at 3. I see it at 312. Maybe it's a little bit more. I see it at 312. Get that number up as we finish our roll call off. Say goodbye to everybody. Thank you so much. Hit the like button. Make sure you like and subscribe to the show. That helps us all out as you have this good basketball team. And, a lot to talk about with this group. And it's really fun. Hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel. We really appreciate your support. And we will see you tomorrow, 6:30, pregame show against the Wizards. Derek, Kyle, myself, Bree will all be here. Rich, you'll be back for the Celtics-Sixers on Friday. Should be another fun one. Maybe 5-0. Maybe 5-0.
Dare to dream, buddy.
Got to get to 4-0 first. Got to get to 4-0 first. Stay undefeated and all that. So, everybody, thank you so much. We appreciate your support as always. Make sure you tune in tomorrow at 6:30 for the pregame show. Once again, we are coming to you from the Xfinity Studio, presented by Crooked T and Bet365. We'll see you tomorrow. First of all, Bree, great job as always. Sis.
Great job, Bree.
Really appreciate all that you do. Bree, make sure you hit those likes to tell Bree the great job that she has done. We'll see you tomorrow at 6:30, everybody. This was a 90-minute marathon talking about the Sixers and their win. Joel Embiid is back tomorrow. What will he provide? How will this team look with that? Maybe that's a part of the pregame show. You have to find out tomorrow when you join in at 6:30. Have a great rest of your night, everybody. Enjoy this win. Let's regroup, take a breather, get back together tomorrow at 6:30. Lace them up for game number 4 against the Washington Wizards. Good night.
We all silly like the mayor.